Stawell Minerals, we're situated, we're based out of the Stawell Gold Mine. And if anyone knows Stawell, we're about 3 hours out of Melbourne, famous for the Stawell gift, if anyone's familiar with that. But we've been operating for 3 years or so. You can see we've got share price 7 cents, market cap at 8.4. We've got quite a tight capital structure as well. We're well supported by the Stawell Gold Mine, which are 66% owners. We have a strong board. You would have seen Campbell yesterday on the stage, and we've got significant experience there. We have 500 square kilometres of tenements, so everything from Stawell Gold Mine heading northwest, and it's a continuous block of tenements. So we're very lucky there. They're in good standing, and potentially we've got strong geophysics as well that we can actually use as a targeting vector as well, and potentially pathways to mining is very uncomplicated, being so significantly aligned with the Stawell Gold Mine. So that's an air core rig just in the field there, and yeah, it's quite nice scenic around the Grampians as well. So just a little bit of history. We are in a significant area of the world. Stawell is one of the little corners of the Golden Triangle. So you've got Bendigo, Ballarat, Fosterville, and then Stawell. So quite significant, produced over 5 million ounces and continuing as we speak. It was one of the deepest gold mines in Victoria, and a very, very well endowed area. And you can see the map there with the red dots. That's the historic discoveries. So these red dots stop when they hit the Murray Basin cover. So this is a cover sequence of anywhere sort of between 20 to 50 metres thick, and this is what we're trying to see through. So we're using different techniques to be able to see through this and find potentially another Stawell gold mine. So there was a report, actually a gold undercover report using the Monte Carlo theory that potentially there is 32 million ounces still undercover for us to find. So we're not alone. There's other companies doing this. Other companies realise that it is a worthwhile investment. So just a bit on, we're very lucky to have a model such as the Stawell Gold Mine. You can see on the right, this is a cross section through the Stawell sequence, and you can see we're trying to chase basalt domes. So it's within the contact zones within the basalt where it's faulted, all the fluids have come in and it's contacted with the sediment. So this is our target, and we're very lucky. We've got the model of Stawell. We know it works. It's been working for 40 years. The middle image there is, you can see the blurry colours. That was the previous airborne gravity. Ground gravity, very basic. Now we've added 55 more stations to that, so we can see exactly where these basalt domes are, and that's in the red and the white colours of more dense material. So we're also lucky on the left image we can actually visually see what this looks like. So we can touch it, we can see the upper sequence, which is the Mariner's Reef there. So I'll be talking mainly about Darlington and Wildwood, so that's some of our more advanced projects that I'll talk to later in the talk. But some of the smarter things we're trying to do is we're working with CSIRO and doing some fluid flow analysis. So this is where we've used the gravity data to incorporate what we know geologically and turning that into an inversion model, and basically where there is the most dilation is where potentially the most mineralisation is. So where there's an east-west, such as Wildwood, where there is an east-west compression, a lot of the left image there is the highest volume strain model, that where potentially along the crest of these basalt domes is where the most stress and strain is, most dilation, most mineralisation. So the left is the high volume. The image in the middle is got the drill holes, the high value drill holes on the top. So we can see there is a nice correlation there. And this is just another tool that we're using to be able to look across the whole sequence, whole 500 square kilometres. Because we just be able to need to narrow that down. So it's one way we're trying to be smarter. And I think we can also see through better targeting. So we're using the targeting of the fluid flow, and we're getting some more better deep depth penetration with the new advanced drilling technique. So we've got the Mantis 200 was brought in from WA, hadn't been used in Victoria before us. And you can see the 48.6%. So every time we've drilled about 600 drill holes. So our strike rate is 48.6%. We at least get 1 gram metre, which doesn't sound much, but it's quite significant compared to historic. They only hit it at 36% of the time. So it's a gradual improvement. And here's sort of the pipeline. So we've got 12 more advanced projects that we've had sort of phase 1, phase 2 drilling. So we mainly use air core. Air core is great getting through penetrating the cover sequence. We tried RC, terrible, don't go there. But air core is great, greater depth penetration than sort of any other company in the area before us. So we've got the Wildwood resource, so that's probably the most advanced of our projects, and you can see from 2021 to 2023 there is a gradual improvement. So we keep developing these projects, and we can see some of the better results we're getting. So it's a gradual process, and we can see even in Wildwood there we're getting some good results. So Darlington, this is one of the areas that we're sort of concentrating on at the moment. It's only 7 kilometres out of Stawell. You can see in the middle image there, Stawell Gold Mine. It sits exactly on the same structural setting as Stawell, so with a few offsets to the north. And Darlington is the first real occurrence that we can actually access this structure, because everything between Stawell and Darlington is either houses or conservation land. So this is the first time we really have a really good hit at drilling this deposit. And it was a historic mine, so it was mined back in the 1870s. So very high grade, an ounce dirt. But yeah, we're starting to drill that, a couple of diamond holes. We were lucky we intersected the basalt. So as you know, the basalt is it's like a marker unit. So when we find that, we can actually use that in relative terms and be able to trace that and potentially find that contact mineralisation. So we've also got a sort of fluid flow analysis there on the right. So that potentially is the down dip. That's looking at a plan view. That's potentially the down dip of the Darlington deposit. So Wildwood. So probably a lot of you might be familiar with Wildwood. It's got a bit of a history. So it starts all the way back from 1993, but there was a resource released in 2019 of 55,000 ounces. There was quite a significant amount of drilling into this structure, and it is extremely analogous to the Stawell Gold Mine. You talk to anyone from Stawell, you have some core from Wildwood, some core from Stawell, and no one can tell the difference. So it's got all the pathfinders, all the right structures, all the right alteration. But the important thing is that since 2019, we've had a bit of time. A lot of people involved in that project, all of them have moved on. We've got a whole set of new eyes now. We're not pressurised by the time potentially that they were when they were drilling. So we're actually seeing where the opportunities are. And we can see that we put 3 diamond holes into it earlier this year, and you can see some good results there, 10 metres at 3, 5 at 8. And we hit pretty much every target that we were aiming for. So great result. And that's a long section there, and the drilling is so thin on the ground through this area that our plan is to further infill. It's open at depth. It's plunging off to the north. This is along the crest, so this is where we're aiming, and you can see just the 3 holes we've drilled into it increased the resource to 87,300. So we've got a indicated resource now of 44,000, which we didn't have before. So hopefully that trend, and we'll aim to do some more diamond drilling into this area when the crops come off, when it dries out a bit, and we'll be able to, if we stay on that rate, every hole gives us another 10,000 ounces. So hopefully that continues. But it is very encouraging. It's great. There's the analogy there with Wildwood and Stawell. It's very similar, very similar. Just quickly, we are surrounded by a lot of heavy metal companies into rare earths. So you've got Astron and Australian Zircon and WIM. They're surrounding our tenements, and they've got some great resources in that field. Our key is gold, but inadvertently we have to drill through this Murray Basin cover, which doesn't have gold, but it potentially has these clay layers where the rare earths are adhered to. So we're slowly looking into that. There's a bit of the distribution of the rare earths there, which, it's early days, but we can have that bubbling away on the background and see where that takes us. But it would be silly to ignore it with what's going on around us, right? And our advantage is that we've got a great relationship with the mine. We've got such a mature back end. Being a junior, we've got a great support network in the mine. We're trying to use better science, better exploration, to try and look through this cover sequence, which we are having great success. And we can actually go underground, look at Stawell, look what it looks like, and actually touch it and see what our target is. So it makes a huge difference. And with all this tied together is our ESG concept. So we're very heavy into the community. We've just had a great community meeting in the local area last week. School kids come very frequently. Got great relationships with our landowners. They're always repeat customers, so we've been allowed back every season. And yeah, we've got great diversity as well in our workforce. So just getting to the end here, we can see this is potentially what the next couple of years will look like. So this will head towards potentially reserves. So we'll keep drilling at Wildwood to improve the resource there, and also some of the other deposits such as Darlington I've already mentioned. There's also some smaller type deposits at Wimmera Park, Forsaken and Old Roo and Challenger. So thanks for your attention. We had a good night last night with the Southern Cross boys, and we took home the Grange Hermitage, which was great. So it's good little fundraising for the Tour de Cure there. And come and visit us at booth 29. Thanks, Alison, for all your efforts. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott.